Hello, this is Spiritually Awakened Princess, and this is kind of a continuation of, I'm just seeing like little, I don't know if it's dust balls or something flying in there. Um, this is like a continuation of almost talking about the spiritual awakening and tarot cards and everything else that goes along with it. Now I'm going to talk about my psychic abilities, including my medium story. My first interaction with mediumship, because I had no idea I had those abilities, but I had a feeling in the background that I was like, uh-oh, I really hope that I'm not a medium, because I'm so scared of like the unknown and ghosts and spirits and things like that. But I guess it shows me. I'm able to connect with spirits and being able to see their visions. I don't even get to talk to them half of the time. Most of the mediums out there, they're able to talk to the spirits and they're, able to get information out of them. I'm a little different because they feel me, like they touch me. I get this like rush of cold air somewhere and I'm like, oh, telling a client like your grandmother will touch you like around your knee and it'll get cold or something like that. And they more than likely will have the same experience too, because it happened before. That's besides the point. I could talk about that all day. It's about my first experience. So yes, I only get visions, and every once in a while they do something to communicate with me, and that's. I'm just gonna fast forward to the first experience of my mediumship. So I worked for Oranum. I mentioned it in another video. Oranum is ORANUM.com. And I was just being there as to being like a psychic, a tarot reader, maybe somebody that's a life coach, because I liked, giving great advice to other people and letting them think outside the box. So, my very first experience as a medium, because I didn't expect it. First of all, when it comes to Oranum, the website, psychic website, the person or whoever's in the room, they can automatically just take you to the room and you have to do that session no matter what. You don't really have a choice. So even though like you might be giving a tarot card to somebody, like a card of the day, they swipe you in and that's that. So my first experience was crazy. I'm not going to tell you names or anything like that, but I'm going to definitely tell you what happened. So I was talking to somebody's, fiance that passed on. Okay. And, well, I was supposed to. And first of all, at first I did not say anything. I did not. I was just like, okay, so what do I do? I told him that I'm not a medium, and I told him twice before we went into session. I'm like, hey, I'm not a medium. You might want to go find somebody else. I can't help you. But he clicked on the button anyway, and I had to do the session. So first thing that happened, it was like a cold of fresh air, like coming up. It's like cold air coming up my arm. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Like, why is it so cold? And over there, that's where I was doing it at. The air conditioner was right above me. So I was touching. I was like, is it on? I thought my mom turned on the air conditioner, but she did not. So the other person I was doing the reading for, technically, he was just laughing. He was like, ah. And I'm like, this is not funny. Like, I'm scared as heck right now. And so first things first was like a flash of like her working at a hospital or something like that came up. And I was asking him like, oh, was she a nurse? Was she a nurse? And he was like, yeah, she was a nurse. Yeah. And also something about like her doing charity work and her especially having a toothache or teeth aching experiences, because I felt like a hard like bang just on the side. I was like, ow, what the heck? Like, why is my tooth hurting so bad right now? And then he told me like, oh, she used to have, you know, achiness around her teeth and stuff like that. And I'm like, what is this spirit, this ghost? What is she doing to me? Like, I was just freaking out so much. And I'm like, I never experienced anything like this before. Then on top of that, for some reason, she did talk a little bit, because I was getting like a little inkling of like what type of music that she liked. And he was asking me like, oh, what is the song that, you know, she hears me sing to her like all the time, because, you know, he feels that her spirit is still around. So I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, first thing she said is Toni Braxton. And then he's like, oh, well, that's her favorite artist. I'm like, oh, okay. Came up for a reason. And then after that, I said Luther Vandross. And he was like, yeah, that's my favorite artist. And I'm like, okay, so we got something here. And she was telling me about like where she wanted to get married, like around the Caribbean area. And they were supposed to technically get married. I forgot if it was Jamaica or the Bahamas, one of those two. And she even told me about an experience where they actually went to a restaurant and they didn't even get to experience to eat the food. And she was kind of upset about that because she wanted to eat the food. So it's like little things like that as far as being a medium. It's crazy. It's crazy as I don't know what. It's crazy amazing. And I was looking outside because I see some little girl. It's the funniest thing. I wish I could turn it around right now. This little girl, she's like running towards like a car. She's like, wait. Not running, but she's, you know, like jogging towards it. And her family's kind of like driving, not fast, but you know, it's kind of slow so she can catch up. It's so funny. Anyway, I just went off subject there, but I just looked outside and I'm like, what is going on here? All right, so that was my experience as a medium. My experience as a psychic, you know, there's so many crazy things. I'll tell you one in particular though. There was one lady, she asked me like, how many kids is she gonna have? And I'm like, for some reason, three kids. Okay, 3 boys, not 3 kids, 3 boys and 1 girl. That's what I told her. And I'm like, as crazy as that sounds, that's how many kids you're gonna have. And she's like, you're right. I do have that many kids. And I'm like, is this a trick question? Because she said, how many kids is she gonna have? Like as if she didn't have any kids. But good thing I told her how many that she actually has. So she knew I was legit. Okay. All right. So I had several experiences before where people, I described like their future partner and what they look like and stuff like that. And then a couple weeks later, a couple months down the line, maybe even, you know, a few months down the line, they're like, oh my God, I met the person that you told me about. And that's happened quite a few times when, you know, I gave readings and stuff like that. Those are the perfect times because I love people that find true love, find somebody that is definitely worth their time and vice versa. Anyways, I'm not going to babble on about this stuff. I know my abilities, you know, a little bit of like what has happened to me, and definitely subscribe, love and light, have a good day, and I'll keep making videos. Bye.